Now was the sun so stationed, as when first his early radiance quivers on the heights, where streamed his maker's blood, while Libra hangs above Hesperian Ebro, and new fires meridian flash on Ganges' yellow tide. So day was sinking, when the angel of God appeared before us. Joy was in his mien. Forth of the flame he stood upon the brink, and with a voice, whose lively clearness far surpassed our human, blessed are the pure in heart, he sang. Then near him as we came, go ye not further, holy spirits, he cried, ere the fire pierce you, enter in, and list attentive to the song ye hear from thence. I, when I heard his saying, was as one laid in the grave. My hands together clasped, and upward stretching, on the fire I looked, and busy fancy conjured up the forms erewhile beheld alive consumed in flames. Escorting spirits turned with gentle looks toward me, and the Montuan spake, my son, here torment thou mayst feel, but canst not death. Remember thee, if I safe thee in on Gieri and brought thee, now I come more near to God, wilt thou not trust me now? Of this be sure, though in its womb that flame 1,000 years contained thee, from thy head no hair should perish. If thou doubt my truth, approach, and with thy hands thy vesture's hem stretch forth, and for thyself confirm belief. Lay now all fear, O lay all fear aside. Turn hither, and come onward undismayed. I still, though conscience you are G'd no step advanced. When still he saw me fixed and obstinate, somewhat disturbed he cried, mark now, my son, from Beatrice thou art by this wall divided. As at Thisbe's name the eye of Pyramus was opened, when life ebbed fast from his veins, and took one parting glance, while Vermeil died the mulberry, thus I turned to my sage guide, relenting, when I heard the name, that springs forever in my breast. He shook his forehead, and, how long, he said, linger we now, then smiled, as one would smile upon a child, that eyes the fruit and yields. Into the fire before me then he walked, and Statius, who erewhile no little space had parted us, he prayed to come behind. I would have cast me into molten glass to cool me, when I entered, so intense ragged the conflagrant mass. The sire beloved, to comfort me, as he proceeded, still of Beatrice talked. Her eyes, saith he, e'en now I seem to view. From the other side a voice, that sang, did guide us, and the voice following, with heedful ear, we issued forth, there where the path led upward. Come, we heard, come, blessed of my Father. Such the sounds, that hailed us from within a light, which shone so radiant, I could not endure the view. The sun, it added, hastes, and evening comes. Delay not, ere the western sky is hung with blackness, strive ye for the pass. Our way upright within the rock arose, and effaced such part of heaven, that from before my steps the beams were shrouded of the sinking sun. Nor many stairs were overpass, when now by fading of the shadow we perceived the sun behind us couched, and ere one face of darkness o'er its measureless expanse involved horizon, and the night her lot held individual, each of us had made a stair his pallet, not that will, but power, had failed us, by the nature of that mount forbidden further travel. As the goats, that late have skipped and wantoned rapidly upon the craggy cliffs, ere they had ta'en their supper on the herb, now silent lie and ruminate beneath the umbrage brown, while noonday rages, and the goatherd leans upon his staff, and leaning watches them, and as the swain, that lodges out all night in quiet by his flock, lest beast of prey disperse them, even so all three abode, I as a goat and as the shepherds they, close pent on either side by shelving rock. A little glimpse of sky was seen above, yet by that little I beheld the stars in magnitude and Russell shining forth with more than wonted glory. As I lay, gazing on them, and in that fit of musing, sleep overcame me, sleep, that bringeth off tidings of future hap. About the hour, as I believe, when Venus from the east first lightened on the mountain, she whose orb seems always glowing with the fire of love, a lady young and beautiful, I dreamed, was passing o'er Alia, and, as she came, methought I saw her ever and anon bending to cull the flowers, and thus she sang, Know ye, whoever of my name would ask, that I am Leah, for my brow to weave a garland, these fair hands unwearied ply. To please me at the crystal mirror, here I deck me. But my sister Rachel, she before her glass abides the livelong day, her radiant eyes beholding, charmed no less, than I with this delightful task. Her joy in contemplation, as in labor mine. And now as glimmering dawn appeared, that breaks more welcome to the pilgrim still, as he sojourns less distant on his homeward way, darkness from all sides fled, and with it fled my slumber, whence I rose and saw my guide already risen. That delicious fruit, which through so many a branch the zealous care of mortals roams in quest of, shall this day appease thy hunger. Such the words I heard from Virgil's lip, and never greeting heard so pleasant as the sounds. Within me straight desire so grew upon desire to mount, thenceforward at each step I felt the wings increasing for my flight. When we had run o'er all the ladder to its topmost round, as there we stood, on me the Montuan fixed his eyes, and thus he spake: Both fires, my son, the temporal and eternal, thou hast seen, and art a rift, where of itself my ken no further reaches. I with skill and art thus far have drawn thee. Now thy pleasure take for guide. Thou hast o'ercome the steeper way, o'ercome the straighter. Lo! The sun, that darts his beam upon thy forehead. Lo! The herb, the arboreta and flowers, which of itself this land pours forth profuse. Till those bright eyes with gladness come, which, weeping, made me haste to succor thee, thou mayst or seat thee down, or wander where thou wilt. Expect no more sanction of warning voice or sign from me, free of thy own arbitrament to choose, discreet, judicious. To distrust thy sense were henceforth error. I invest thee then with crown and mitre, sovereign o'er thyself.